This is Mercedes-Benz India. I'm Eberhard Kahn and welcome to the next session of MB Connect. Today we have a special guest with us and I'm very proud and happy that Boris Becker is with us for the first time at a MB Connect chat here in India. So I would say we just start. We got a number of questions and other questions are coming in online. The first question I have with me here today is from Jandon. Jandon is asking, hi Boris, which type of car is your dream car? And how would that car be if Mercedes built a custom concept car for you?
Hi Jandon, that is an easy answer because I'm already driving my dream car, which is the SLS. So Mercedes doesn't need to manufacture it specially or build it for me. I love the SLS as it is. I like historic cars, I like traditional cars with a little bit of horsepower. So the SLS is just fine.
Okay, fine. Another question by Mr. Damotaran. He is asking, who is your role model, sir? And what are you thinking as your lifetime achievement?
Well, hi Damo, I call you. My role model in tennis was always Bjorn Borg. The reason I fell in love with Wimbledon is because as a little boy, I watched him win 5 times in the row on the green lawns of Wimbledon. And the other part of the question was?
The other part was, what are you thinking is your lifetime achievement?
Well, I'm still alive. I still like to add to the legend a little bit. Obviously, I'm known for my Wimbledon titles. I'm known to do something special in tennis. But that's a few years ago. I still believe that I'm writing my life book called Boris Becker as we speak. So once I'm gone and dead and in ashes and God knows where, then you can summarize.
Okay, Boris. Another question asked by Ridvik. What do you think a tennis player requires most to reach the top of the table?
Hi, Ridvik. Well, unfortunately, there are no shortcuts for hard work, discipline, and repetition. You know, I know it sounds boring. I know I'm going to give you not the sexy answer you want, but hard work and discipline is the key, not only in tennis, in any other profession, to be successful.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's continue. A question by Tejashri. He or she, I'm not quite sure, is asking, does the GL push your pulse up like it races during a tough point?
Hi, we have a long name. I don't know how to say that. Driving a GL on the German Autobahn does raise my pulse. Now I know that you have strict traffic controls in India, so you got to be careful how fast you go. But it's not about the speed; it's about the comfort. It's about the possibility to have 8 people sitting comfortable inside the car, driving from A to B. I think that's the secret of the GL. I mean, it's a they call it the S-Class of the SUVs. I drove it. I give you my word for it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Boris, there's a question coming in online by Subroto Ghosh. And the question is it true that you own a Mercedes-Benz dealership?
Excuse me, that was in a live conference. It's all live here.
Yeah.
Excuse me. It is not true. I own 3 Mercedes-Benz dealerships.
Okay, concrete answer, short and concrete. The next one, question by Abhishek. He asks, what has been your best double board partner according to you?
I love doubles. I always play doubles to improve my game. Sometimes it does get tiring, it does get time consuming, but I always felt like the extra hour on the court is going to benefit my singles match. Now, my most successful doubles partner was a player from Serbia called Slobodan Jivinovic. I expect you to repeat his name quickly. Call him Bobo. He was #1 in doubles, and we won a couple of big tournaments. But the best doubles player I've ever played with was a guy called John McEnroe. I'm sure you heard that name.
At least I heard.
Yeah.
Okay, Boris. David asks, what car you like to get gifted when winning a Grand Slam title?
I wish in those days they would give you, instead of money, a couple of nice cars. Well, I told you my favorite car is the SLS, but it's quite expensive. I wouldn't mind settle for the SL. or even the new E-Class will do. As long as it's AMG and maybe a 6.3 liter engine, I'm fine.
Okay, this will work. Online question by Shihab. Question is, what do you like more, tennis or Mercedes? Now you have to be careful what to answer.
Hi, Shihab. That is an unfair question. Obviously, if I wouldn't be as good as tennis, I wouldn't be associated with a worldwide brand like Mercedes-Benz. So first I had to fall in love with tennis, be successful at it, and now I can be an ambassador for Mercedes. Is that a pretty correct answer?
Very correct.
Thank you.
Very correct. The next question fits to this. Sarat is asking, dear Boris, what is your hobby other than tennis?
Well, unfortunately, I don't play so much tennis anymore. And I'm a family man. I have a few children, so I want to spend in my free time lots of time with my children and my wife. Having said that, I like two things when I'm just by myself. I like to play golf, and I like to play poker. So, here we go.
Yeah, and I heard about you were quite successful in one of the last poker
Yeah. I'm getting better at poker, yes.
Okay. You played in the US?
I play in the US, is not allowed at the moment.
Oh.
Online. You can play poker in casinos, but online is not allowed.
Okay. Great. There is some water.
Thank you.
Adil is asking online, sir, which was your memorable win and why and how you celebrate your magical moment?
Well, there are a number of memorable wins in my tennis career, and I'm very fortunate to have done so. Obviously, the first Wimbledon is something I will never forget. I was quite nervous at the match point and then at the celebration afterwards. You remember, I was only 17 years old and I didn't know really what hit me. The most celebrated I have after becoming the official world #1 in Australia. I've beaten Ivan Lendl in the final, and I started running out of the stadium. I forgot the ceremony, I forgot the speech, I forgot everybody else. I just ran out because I was so full of emotion, and a couple of guys came after me and caught me, so I had to go back to the court, hold up the trophy and make my winner speech, but I was really, really, really happy.
Sounds great. Sumit is asking, hi Boris, you have been inspiration to many. What is the message you want to give to anybody who loves the sport and who want to pursue a career in tennis, and how should they evaluate their success?
Well, that's a very, very deep question. First of all, you have to love what you do. The only reason for me to be successful at tennis is because I love playing tennis. I truly did. You have to be passionate about it. You have to be emotional about it. And then you have to be true to yourself. If you want to be good at it, lots of hard work, lots of discipline, get the right people around you who are not going to tell you always what you want to hear, but it's going to make you a better player. But most important is you have to enjoy it.
Yeah. Sarat is asking, dear Boris, what according to you is Mercedes-Benz? Is it style, or is it luxury, or is it both? Or do you have some other opinion on Mercedes-Benz?
Well, Mercedes-Benz is a very big brand with different cars for different people. So it's definitely luxury and it's definitely comfort. But at the end of the day, it's about the engine. It's about the history of it. It's about Mercedes is 125 years old now. Actually, I'm 126. I went to the celebrations in Stuttgart, and if you see how many things Mercedes is involved, it's mind-boggling how big of a brand it is. But it's about so many things for so many people. You cannot put it into one or two words, but it's one of the most important brands in the world.
Yeah, I was there, by the way, as well.
Yeah.
At this 125 years celebration.
Stuttgart,
Yeah. So Basit is asking, have you ever watched or played a game of cricket?
Now comes my bad part. I have never played cricket. I don't know much about cricket. I watch it in the UK. I watch it in India. I know some of your famous players, of course. But don't ask me the rules and don't ask me who won last night and so forth. This is not my strong part.
Very honest. Aditya is asking, did you always wanted to be a tennis player? If not, what other professions interested you?
Well, I started picking up the racket at a very young age. And I loved sports, first of all. I loved football, basketball, skiing, and I guess tennis was my best sport. But I come from a family with architects. You know, my sister's an interior designer, my father built houses, so likely I would have gotten more into that part of business and that part of the world.
Yeah. Srikant is asking, Boris, what do you think has changed in men's tennis after in the present compared to your time?
A few things have changed, starting with the shorts. Back in the day, we had the short shorts, and they were, looking back, a little tight. Nowadays, players have comfortable sporting gear, but more importantly, the game has changed. You see counter punches now, you see baseliners, you don't see the serve volley players anymore, the likes of McEnroe and Edberg and Becker and maybe some others. The game is won and lost in the baseline right now with long rallies. Some like it, some don't. I like it. The ideal match is always a matchup between an attacking player, serve and volley player against the baseline. That's when you get the best matches. I call it a Federer-Nadal match is pretty perfect.
Okay. Sumit is asking, who is your favorite celebrity in India you like? And the second question is, do you like to visit India?
I love India. I fell in love many years ago, but I was so busy playing tennis, so I didn't see much. Lately, I've been coming back more. I have lots of friends in London. There's a strong Indian community in London. My favorite Indian personality, I call him, but he's so much more, is Shah Rukh Khan. I've met him a few times. He's funny. He always got something good to say. He's still extremely popular, and I know him 15, 20 years ago, and he hasn't changed.
Okay. We got another online question. Ronak Bai is asking, which youngster do you think has the ability to break Roger Federer's Grand Slam record?
Well, Ronak, that is a very good question. I can give you lots of names now, but I don't think in the meantime it'll happen. Roger has won 17 Grand Slams. Sampras had a record before with 14 Grand Slams, and we thought that can't be broken. Federer came along, he broke it. The next best current player is Nadal. He has 11 Grand Slam wins. Now, he has to win another 8, and his knee's already fragile. So, question has to be asked whether that record ever will be broken.
Okay. Naveen Raju asks, what was your first reaction when you were asked to be a brand ambassador for a legendary Mercedes-Benz brand?
In fact, it's been over 17 years ago. I don't exactly remember my first reaction, but I'm sure I was very proud, very honored. Growing up in West Germany, you don't have many international brands around, and Mercedes-Benz was one of the finest. So when I was asked to be an ambassador for Mercedes-Benz, I quickly said yes. We had a big press conference in Stuttgart, and then we had a car rally with an old-timer, and so I will never forget that day.
This is how it started.
That's how it started.
Wow. Rohan is asking, which Merc are you driving currently, sir?
If I'm with the family, I'm driving the GL, and if I'm by myself, I'm driving the SLS.
Nice choice, isn't it?
Good choice.
Kavya is asking, which was your toughest match in your career? And second question, what kind of car you like the most? Okay.
I respect every single match I've had in my career. Obviously you would say the Grand Slam finals or the World Championship finals, but people forget in order to get to the final, you have to win the first round, the second round, and if you don't respect these guys, they beat you. So I've played over 1,000 matches in my life, and every single one made me the player that I became. So yes, I can tell you the final with Agassi and Sampras and Edberg, but I don't want to forget the first round.
More than 1,000.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm an old guy. I've been around a long time. And my favorite car is pretty easy to answer. That's a Merc.
Okay, fine. The next question fits a bit to this. Online, Tushar Bangira is asking, what are the features that you specifically love about the GL class?
Well, there are a number of features I like a lot. I like its comfort. You feel very safe. You have lots of leg space. You have, I believe, 2 proper rows for 3 people, plus a driver's seat and a co-pilot. So 3, 6, 8 people comfortable can drive. Speed. It has enough horsepower and it has enough wheels to take you from A to B. And then it's got the latest amenities. Whether it's the radio, whether it's the CD player, whether it's the navigation system, whether it's the lighting. There's so many features that are on all.
What about the panoramics?
The view,
sunroof,
the view. You open the roof. You can see where you're going. You don't only hear it. So then lots of features. Best is buy it and experience it.
And you have some kids, and they probably like to have this electric adjustment of the rear
There you
seats,
go.
yeah?
There you go.
Yeah, fine. Kavya is asking. No, this I had already. Sorry.
Too much caveat today.
Yeah. Anuj is asking, how does it feel to be brand ambassador of a legendary car manufacturer like Mercedes? And which best and sweet memory you remember on experiencing legacy of Mercedes-Benz?
Well, I'm very honored to be part of the Mercedes-Benz family. I'm already part of that family for a long, long time. And I've went through a number of cars. I went through. My very first car was the 190E that I drove. Then I bought my first SL, the 2-seater convertible. But then quickly I got into the ML. I got to the station wagon E-Class, depending where I am and if I'm with my family or not. So the range is very wide, and it's difficult to say that is my favorite car.
Yeah, there is a number.
There's so many.
The next one, it's a nice question. I'm looking forward how you answer this. Kaushik is asking, dear Boris, have you ever gone back to Wimbledon after all these years? How does it feel like?
I go back every year because I do the commentary for the BBC. So Wimbledon is not only my tennis home, but also my workplace now. And I don't live too far away from the center court either. So Wimbledon, as a village, is very much part of my life.
Okay, great. And may I ask a personal question?
Yeah, of course.
I know you are traveling quite a lot. How often do you see your family back home in London?
I try to come home at night. That's the plan. Obviously, it's difficult to come home at night when you're in India. But my work when I was playing was kind of different because I had to stay a week or 10 days away. Nowadays, it's a night here and a night there. So the travel is still a lot, but I usually come home at night.
Okay. Anuj is asking, which was your best format in tennis, single or doubles? And which would you give first preference?
Well, Anuj, singles was the key. I want to be the best singles player in the world. But doubles was very important for my preparation, for my practice. I like playing in a team, but the singles was always a priority.
Okay. Another question, when you came to India today, which way did you take?
I flew London, Frankfurt, Delhi, and I came last night at around 1 o'clock.
Oh.
And not by car, no.
Yeah,
plane.
Of course. Aditya is asking, apart from tennis, which other sports do you follow?
Well, I'm a sport fanatic. I love sports. Obviously, I have a hard time with cricket, but I love football. I love basketball. I love the Olympics with many different type of sports. I love golf. So you can tell that whenever there is a ball involved, small or big, I like it.
Okay, quite a number of sports.
Yeah.
Naveen is asking, what is something that is unique about these players, Roger Federer, Nadal, Djokovic, and Andy Murray? Naveen is asking.
Well, Naveen, they are the best 4 players in the world right now, and already for a number of years. I call Roger Federer the legend, the most successful tennis player of all time. I call Rafael Nadal the best player on clay of all time, even though he's won Wimbledon or the US Open, but I think his forte is clay. Novak Djokovic is the current number 1, and if he stays healthy and if he has inspiration, he'll be very, very successful. He already has 6 Grand Slam wins, and I'm sure many more to come. And Andy Murray is the hope all the Brits have to have a world number 1 in tennis. He's the current US Open winner. He won the gold medal at Wimbledon. So he's very much the man in form. And I wouldn't be surprised if he wins Wimbledon one day.
Okay. Ravindranath is asking, why do you think players with great serves like Goran Ivanisevic fail to make a devastating impact on game and match as well?
Well, because the serve is an important part of tennis, but not everything. You know, you can start the point. It doesn't mean you win the point. Like in any other sport or profession, you need lots of brain, lots of intelligence, you know, a good body to overcome the wear and tear and survive the long hours. A serve is just one part of tennis.
Yeah, okay. You have to be complete.
To be complete.
Vinod, online asking, hi Boris, what is your favorite player in this current arena?
Well, I know who my favorite players is, but I'm a sports commentator, in particular in tennis, and I have to stay on the fence professionally. I cannot tell you whether I like Federer or Nadal or Djokovic or Murray or some of the others. I have to be fair to everybody.
Very diplomatic answer. Sumit is asking, if you have to choose between tennis and soccer, which would be your favorite one?
Well, every child in Germany wanted to be a football player when they're grown up, and I played in clubs as well. I don't think I've done too bad picking up tennis, but football is still a big passion of mine, and I watch the Champions League final next week in London, Dortmund and Bayern München. So Germans are taking over.
Yeah, at least in this year. Yeah. Another question coming in by Rahul. Which Indian tennis player do you like?
I wish I would give you names now that won Grand Slams, but I'm friends with Mahesh Bhupathi, with Leander Paes, and some of the others. On the girls' side, I've seen Sanya Mirsi a few times. I've never really met and talked to her, but that's it. Sanja, not Sanja.
Yeah, coming back to Germany, Narayan is asking, in top 20 tennis players, only Tommy Haas is from Germany. Do you think that after your professional career, Germany has failed to produce quality players?
Well, obviously he has a point. Otherwise, we'd have more players in the top 10 or top 20. And Tommy Haas, with all respect, is 35 years old. I don't think he's an up-and-coming teenager. Well, something went wrong with the Tennis Federation, that's for sure. We've had Steffi Graf, we had Mike Stick, we had myself winning Grand Slams. There was a real tennis boom in the country, but something happened that wasn't too good for German tennis players and for the whole industry, just to slow down a little bit the last couple of years. I mean, we have, as I said, great players.
Yeah.
They do the best they can. On the women's side, we're even better. We have a girl called Angelique Kerber, who's number 6 in the world. But for the possibilities we have in Germany, it should be a lot more.
Yeah, and there's a second question here by Narayan. As a senior player, any plan to revive the lost touch?
As what? As helping the federation, or yeah?
I think as a tennis player.
Yeah. Well, there's a time limit for tennis players. I'm 45 years old now, so I'm way too old to play professionally. I speak about it, I commentate, I write in newspapers and magazines, but playing days are over.
Question comes in. Which all Mercedes cars have you driven?
I have driven in the last, 20 years, 25 years, pretty much all Mercedes cars that are out there, sometimes longer than others. I even sat in a Formula 1 car to shoot a commercial, but I'm a bit too big, so I couldn't drive it. But I've sat, in the SLS, I've sat in the A-Class, in the GL, in the SL. Pretty much every other year when you come out with a new car, I must have driven it.
Yeah. This I can understand. Another question comes in by Milton Ribeiro. Would you love to act in Bollywood?
Well, a few people have asked me that already. You know, I'm not your natural actor. I have to play somewhat myself. But with my friend Shah Rukh Khan, anything is possible.
So, Amia is asking, what lesson you got when you lost tennis Wimbledon?
What tennis I got when I lost?
What lesson you got when you lost tennis Wimbledon?
Oh, when I didn't play anymore, or when
Probably
I lost the match.
when you probably lost a final or match, yeah?
Well, unfortunately, you do learn a lot by losing, because that's a feeling you don't want to have, and you want to avoid it the next time around. So I probably have learned more losing matches than winning matches. Having said that, I've won more than I've lost. Imagine how much I would have learned if I would have lost more.
Yeah, that's quite true, yeah? In losing, you win even more. Shibel is asking online, Shibel Mohideen, and she is obviously quite well informed. What's your opinion about the S-Class? Yeah, you know, yesterday there was the Worldwide Lounge, and she adds a luxurious car from Mercedes. Yes, of course.
Well, the S-Class is a legend. When you see presidents and head of states all over the world, when they have an official entrance and they have to drive, everybody drives an S-Class. That speaks for itself. It's the ultimate in luxury. It's the ultimate in image. Yeah. And yes, the horsepower is great and the safety is great, but the image as such, the S-Class, is second to none.
Okay.
Perfect.
I think this is a perfect final statement.
Thank you.
Thank you, Boris, so much for being with us today.
My pleasure.
At Ambi Connect here in India. Hope we see you soon again. And to all our Facebook friends, thank you very much for being with us in the last 30 minutes. And we come back soon. Bye-bye.
Perfect.